Let me give me a second. Okay. Okay. Talking about the objectives of this session, what are we going to do? I gave all this context before we come into the objective. Why? Because I wanted to have a clear idea why you are in this session, right? So the first thing that we're going to talk about, we're going to try to build an understanding regarding the current entity context, as well as we try to talk about like what are the critical issues that your LC is facing, MC is facing, and like your entity is facing, how you can take this forward with the LC planning and MC replanning. Have conversation as one intent, build a way forward. This is also one objective that we want to achieve. And the last but not least, one thing that we want to achieve is build a support system inside the region so that you can have that accountability, or you will understand like how each other working on, so that we can create that ownership inside the region. I'll come to that later. So like this is our objective. So before we move forward, I want to talk a little bit about regional context, but I want to ask from you first, do you have any questions, any doubts, anything regarding what I mentioned so far? You can put a wave, you can say no. Um, all good. Ragib saying, all good. Thank you, Ragib. Rivera is saying no, all good. Kum says good. Amazing. Sarah said good. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I want it to be engaging. Let's try to keep it going. Okay. Talking about regional context, why I want to talk about this one thing is basically I want to ensure that you guys have some kind of idea what's happening in the region. But the objective of this session is not to talk about regional context. We will have more sessions to talk about this tomorrow. We'll talk more in like deeper understanding in tomorrow. You will have better understanding regarding what happening in the regional level. But in here, I want to give you some idea about like finance, TM, and operations. These three key things. In here. Okay. Okay, so talking about finance. So first measurement that we are measuring right now, like this is when I say regional context, this is what we are looking into. Like as regional office, this is what we see every day, and these are things that we try to monitor every day so that we can have better understanding about the region. So one of the key measurement that we are having right now is MOCR, month of cash reserve. So basically, how much cash that entity is left with. You can see like according to the past trends, like AP is in a higher position, where you can see do have some amount of cash reserves at this point right now. But if you go deeper into the entity, if you go inside the entities, you can see it is not quite evenly distributed among everyone, right? Some entities has more money, some entities have kind of struggling with the situation that's going on right now, as well as sometimes entity LC has more money, MC doesn't have a lot of money, and then this is also like kind of distribution that look like inside the region. So one thing that we always measure is like, okay, how is the financial situation of the region that looks like, because this is one of the key factors in here. So you can see these are the amount of months. So which means that 6 months, 12 months, 10 months, you can see as like in Australia, you have month MC cash reserves of 16 months. So which is quite good because something we don't really know like how long it will take us to recover, or like this kind of in this kind of context. So these are kind of measurements that we are looking into. And the second one we are looking into is MCLC, profit or loss. So how the entities are working on in terms of financial wise and in the long term wise, how the entities are doing on. So this is current situation of the entity. I think you can just take a quick look in the entity, your entity context, or how its overall region looks like. Amazing. So the next one, I'm going to talk a little bit about TM. So talking about TM, one thing that we always look into is like, okay, how's the membership, or like do we have enough members to perform the tasks that we need to perform? Which means that the gap between active and ideal membership that we have right now. So you can see in AP, we are doing quite good. We don't have like huge gap between like ideal and active membership right now. Also, like with our recent recruitment that happened, our membership started to go a global level. You can see the graph in the right, which is showing our global membership, how it is going right now. So in August, we had around like 30,000 members, and right now we are having around 33,000, 32,000, somewhere around that. This is the current membership look like in the global level. As well as next one is ideal HR. So like how in different functions inside AP, in different functions, how's the HR look like? So you can see like in different functions, like we sometimes they reduce HR. If you think about some of the functions, example like IGV. So these functions we tend to reduce HR because they had issues coming in of the function, like things like this, as well as more people adding into GT, or like more people adding into back office functions like DD or finance. So these kind of things are the trends that you usually see in here. But overall, looking into the current situation of the region, we do have more than enough members to perform. So this is also something looking like overall looking into the region. This is what we see. Talking about the operation mostly we talk about like how different entities are performing in terms of GT wise, as well as GT funnel, GT as ICX, as well as OGX. So you can see this is specifically for IGTE, and this is specifically for OGTA. So this is mostly like I'm not showing like all the data because the purpose of here is like not to go through the data, but I just wanted to like take a look on like how's the region and how's the overall like what we do, like as well as inside the GV, right? GV, one thing that we are measuring right now is like how the condition, minimum condition fulfillment. So this is also something that we are trying to achieve in a way that how we can be able to start exchange as soon as the exchanges are going to happen in the future. So this is a little bit of data that we have regarding how's the GV condition fulfillment. You can see entities like Indonesia, Myanmar, like they're doing really good, and around 100% implementation. Touch, yeah. Cool. Regarding IGV, it's a similar situation. You can see like who are the different entities fulfilling IGV minimum criteria. So these are like a couple of data that I want to showcase to you in order for you before you go and like start talking to MCPs, because I want you to have an understanding. Okay, these are the data that we need to look into, as well as these are the questions that I need to ask from my MCP. Okay. Before I move forward, like any questions? Do you guys understand? It's too much information, too much data. You can say it here. How's it? Good. You were saying good. Okay, Deepika said good. Okay. How's the others are going? Are you guys sleepy or good? Okay, cool. Saying good, 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 good. Okay, cool. Amazing. Perfect. So before I move over to the entity time, I want to set expectation and I want to let you know like what exactly going to happen in this space. So you will have a chance to talk with your organization, with your MCP regarding like what's happening inside the entity. So this whole thing will have a flow of like entity quantitative data as well as qualitative data, qualitative information and insights, as well as MC vision and what is the direction that entity is driving right now and what is the way forward that you have. So at the end of the slide, or like maybe you can keep your own notes, you'll have 3 questions to answer. What are your key insights, and what are the questions, what are things that you want to take forward for your LC planning, as well as yeah, what are the other questions that you have that you need to figure out answers for. So this is the thing that you need to look into. But before you move forward, I want to set expectation. So this is especially for the LC piece. I want you guys to take a pen and paper, and I'm going to give you 2 questions, and I want you guys to answer for these questions. First question is, what are the questions you have regarding your entity right now? So maybe you already had your transition, or maybe you already went through an conference, or like you already had like induction conference as LCP elects, or you're still in the process that you're preparing for the entity and like you are looking to the entity context, and sometimes you might not really understand what's happening. So the first question that I want you to reflect on, what are the questions you have about your entity right now? And second question that I want to ask from you is, what are the information that you need for your LC planning? So I'll give you a couple of bit time to like reflect on these questions. Then I will send you guys to the breakout room. And then after MCP present, you can ask these questions from there. All good? There's Something.